Hello everyone. It is a beautiful Sunday morning here in Arizona. I am Annette. It is Sunday, June 7th, and it's a beautiful day. So it's been about a month, or it's actually been exactly a month since the last update. So I thought I would give it a go this morning, and I got plenty to show. I got piles all around me. So I hope you're having a fantastic June. June's coming in hot here in Arizona. Um, we had some nice, fairly mild March, April, May. Only saw three digits, triple digits, a couple, three times. Yeah, June, that's all we've seen so far. Um, so Mother Nature has decided that it's time to get to the heat here. But that's okay. I've lived here 30 years, so I'm kind of used to it at this point. Otherwise, work is crazy. There was a significant reorg happened back in April, and the ripples from that are still happening, and they don't seem to be getting smaller. They actually seem to be getting bigger. So it's just been kind of crazy, stressful. But the good news is I've certainly been stitching as far as some of that, offsetting some of that work stress. So let's show. So here is May's planner. You can see something on every day. Those dark, I used the washi tape lines to denote work travel. So you saw, had some work travel. But my task list, everything's checked off on my to-do list for the month, so that was good. And then the first week of June is also got something on every day. And I'll be leaving for StitchCon this week, so I'm very much looking forward to heading back to StitchCon. It'll be the first time in about 4 years since I've been there, so looking forward to that. And then I come back and I'm going to have another work trip afterwards. But it is what it is. So I've already started on my June task list, which I will show you. But we're moving along. Got some finishes. As I noted in my last video, I took some stuff in for framing and I got them back. So here we go. So the first is Lost Cemetery by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I had just a simple black frame right up to the edge of the needlework. Glare is horrible, but I really like it. Came out quite well, so I'm happy with that. My husband has already said it's going in his room, so it's already been claimed. The second piece that I had done is the 2020 Fox and Rabbit Mystery Quaker, kind of a cherry frame. So that came out really nice. I actually think I'm going to hang it right here, so it'll be something that you'll see regularly. And then the last one, I did do 3 instead of 2. So the last one came out amazing. And this is Miss Christmas Eve. So she has a gold inner mat, a deep green outer mat, and then a nice viney frame. Oh, glare. Sorry. Oh, she came out beautiful. She looks great. They did a really good job. By right, she should go on my memorabilia wall, but there's not a lot of room there, so we're gonna have to see where she ends up. So maybe I'll show that next time. I'll take a picture and give you a look. Those are not the only finishes, fully finished items I have, though. Shocking, let me tell you. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I did Spring Mingle in May, and I took Kathy Haberman's class, Do Dragons Fly, to do a new shape of pincushion. And as I showed last time, I finished all the stitching, and then I did not do the finishing during class, but I did do it over Memorial Day weekend. So here is the finally finished piece with the wool in the middle, and then everything. Just put a little 2026 on the bottom. So yeah, all finished. I mean, it's not a difficult finish. I didn't stuff it really, really tight because it's just going to sit on a shelf. I also used white to stitch it together because the fabric, you can see there's a little bit of modeling. This is Lavender Whisper fabric, which is one of the ones that are printed on one side, like the Vintage Country Mocha and Blue Whisper, Stormy Night, all those that have a modeling printed on one side. This is the same thing. So I did a white to give just a little bit of more interest in the side seams. It's a small thing, but yeah, it's a nice little finish. It's a nice something different. Kathy also provided a secondary chart for a little needle book that matches, so I stitched a little needle book. So this is the front and the back, and again I added the 2026, and I used the color placement is the same in her original design. The chevrons here were a little, or the triangles were a little different color, but I changed it from my fabric. So yeah, it's a little needle book. I just lined it with felt. So yeah, not bad. So that's, both of those pieces are done. Just nice. Kathy does such an amazing job with finishing. If you have not had the opportunity to take a finishing class with her and you get one, do so. You will not be disappointed. I did not do the dragonfly pin yet. So the other thing I finished, I have a couple other finishes, is I finished Love Conquers All from Modern Folk Embroidery, which was the 2026 Salentine with Roxy Floss and Evertote, so I finished that. This is on 40 count porcelain, maybe? I don't remember the fabric. Anyway, it's 40 count Roxy Floss fabric with the called for threads. So that came out. I put my husband and I, our initials at the top. So yeah, so that's done. That was a nice start and finish for 2026. Then I finished Graveyard Wander from the Witchy Stitcher. This is on 36 count Prehistoric from Fox and Rabbit. So that got finished up towards the end of May. I love it. I'll start Graveyard Union, which is the next piece, on the same fabric sometime this summer. I'll start it sometime this summer. There's a lot of the same colors in both pieces. I just had to add in a few reds for Graveyard Union. I put a picture up at this point. And then the most recent finish, and I finished at the very end of May. I finished Satsuma Street's Holiday House. All done. This is on 36 count Hog Bristle from Fox and Rabbit. And it's very colorful. I like it very much. So yeah, it's all done. It was started last year. It was a mystery sale last year. Similar to the other houses that she has. But yeah, all done. Woohoo. So, 3 good finishes. I take that back. I didn't finish it. I finished it I finished it on the 4th. I finished it on the 4th. It was Graveyard Wander that I finished at the end of May. Thursday night. I finished it on Thursday night. So it's my first finish for June. All right. So we have some other. So what else have I been working on for the past month? Well, I have been working on my local conditions, Satsuma Street. So here's where this is at. Oh, hold on. Okay. So local conditions. This is May, as you can see. There's a couple of reds in there. The reds are 100 degrees. Those are 100-degree days. Lots of yellows, which are 90s, even a few greens, which are 80s. I've changed the scale quite a bit because otherwise I would have only used half of the scale that was in the chart. The right half of the table, that's all I would have used. So I made I made quite a few adjustments to kind of broaden, narrow the gap, narrow the bands, and so I used more colors. So anyway, this is the start of June, and these all represent 100 degrees plus. And I haven't done the next couple days, but those are going to be even a new color for a higher, a little further up into that 100 to 110 band. So I expect that kind of those 4 or 5 colors that represent that 10-degree band is going to be the vast majority of June, because that's just how it works here. But again, that's okay. I've lived here. I'm used to it. So local conditions is moving along. I've had a couple starts. The first being Modern Folk Embroidery. 'Twas in the month of May. This was the exclusive that Jacob brought to Spring Mingle. So of course I immediately purchased it. I'm definitely in a Modern Folk Embroidery phase of my stitching life. And it's a little bigger than the Quick Quaker that was in April, but not too bad. I was kind of missing the daily 150 stitches or so. So I decided to actually start this and use this as my new daily. I had toyed with using one of my other red whips, but it's not in Pattern Keeper or markup, so counting stitches every day will be a little bit more challenging. The thread that I'm using is a black and red silk from Silks For You. I went looking to see if this was currently available on the website, but it's not. So who knows? Maybe it will be before I get done. But it's a red and black variegated. You can see that, right? And I'm using a 36 count, one of a kind piece of fabric from Evertote. And here's where we're at. So for the first couple days, I essentially just did a jump start and stitched the bottom border, just so that I had a good starting point that would let me kind of go wherever on my daily stitching. From that point, it's only been about 150 to 180 stitches per day, and I've made it every day. So this is where we're at. The middle point is about right here. So it's coming along beautifully. When I added yesterday's stitches, it just ticked me just over 50%. So my plan is to, at the current rate, I will finish early July timeframe, which will then give me a couple weeks before the new monthly stitch along starts with Jacob. That's coming in August, the Fast Frisian sale. So yeah. So it's not very big. This is a 11-inch Q-snap, so it's coming along. It's just really nice to do. It's usually about a strand and a half that I need to do every day, and it's a nice way to start off the stitching every day. So that's going. All right. So otherwise, I have some other whips that I worked on. Shannon Christine Nutcrackers on Picture This Plus Ren. I have finished the bottom row of Nutcrackers completely, and I have started on the top row. So I got that guy on the end there pretty close to being done. One more round and he'll get his head. So, and his sparkly, I usually do the metallic at the end. So yeah, so that's coming along and is on track to be completed this year. And let's see. I also did the June band for Fox and Rabbit 2026 Mystery. So this is on Picture This Plus Twilight. It's deep blue using Sulky. Using Sulky in the color Buttercup, which is a variegated yellow gold. Yeah, it's really nice. It's really pretty. I love the gold on the yellow on the blue, dark blue. So that is all caught up. I actually did that on the 31st. So I haven't technically stitched on it in June yet. I also put more time and did more time into No Time Like the Present, which is the 2024 Modern Folk Embroidery stitch along. And 10 hours got me that chunk of my next 30 stitch band. So it's well over halfway on that band. I will probably take this with me this week to StitchCon because it's only 2 colors and it's 36 count, and there are enough repetitive elements that I think it'll actually be pretty easy to work on while I'm there. So, but this is good. I am, let's see, did I write down the last 2 pitches have been sliders? I did not write down the percentage complete, but I'm like 80% complete, I guess, over 80% complete. I've only got one more full 30 stitch band and then a partial band below that. So again, this one is very close. And it was part of my, this one and Nutcrackers both were part of my plans to be finished this year, so that is well on its way. The other progress I made was on Museum After Midnight, Lola Crow. I did not complete the frame before the first exhibit came out on Friday. So here's where I'm at on the frame. I'm missing about 1,500 stitches in the upper left there. This is on 32 count, Picture This Plus, Dapple Gray using Call For. The first exhibit came out, and the first exhibit is in the bottom row. It's in the very bottom row there, which is done. Sans back stitching. So, and it's only like 800 and some odd stitches for the first exhibits. So I'll start on do the first exhibits. That's actually going to be today's stitching. And then for whatever time I have left in my 10-hour block, I will go up and continue to fill in that upper left corner. So, and I'll do that. It'll just become a 10-hour. This cycle will be 10 hours. It'll continue to be 10 hours until I am caught up. Of course, next week I will be at StitchCon when the next exhibit drops, and I'm not planning on taking it with me because I know there's going to be a lot of them there. So I'll stitch it when I get home. But we do have a break, either end of June or sometime in July, so I'll have plenty of time to catch up. So that's at least the plan. All right. I had another new start that specifically for travel. You saw how much traveling I was doing, right? So this is my travel piece. Take it out of the package. So it's F is for flag, another hands-on design piece and have it in my little case here. Guess I could have taken it out, but I didn't. So this will absolutely be going with me this week. It'll be my stitching on the plane on Wednesday, and then when I come home on Sunday. Very good progress. I have completed the top with the exception of just a couple stitches because I was missing a color, but I have since got that. So this is the top, and that's done except for I need to add 4. I need to do the flagpoles, which all have 1 stitch of gold at the top and then a tiny bit of back stitching. So I'll take care of that this week. And then I have also started on the band around the middle, and I have the beginnings of an eagle. So this is on Silk Weaver 32 count Lagana in purely primitive. This is original Silk Weaver, not the purchased. This is from the original owner. So yeah. So this will continue to be my travel piece until it's done. So in my handy dandy little, this is like just the perfect size to hold. I can't put the cover chart in, but I can put everything else in. I'm not going to carry the cover chart with me. Let's see. All right, so then since I finished things, when I made my task list for this month, I wanted to bring in an older whip from the vault. And I haven't shown you this one before. So I did some digging. So the first thing was I finished my Graveyard Wander, so I needed a new spooky whip, at least for on the 13th, right? So I needed a new spooky whip. So I went looking to see, went digging into the vault, and I found Prairie Moon, Thine is the Trick and the Treat, which I had started 2020, I think. So this is what it will look like, at least from a chart pattern perspective. And I have it 2/3 complete. Now, I'm doing something a little different. I'm doing it in 4 colors. I'm doing it in 4 Silks for You. So here's my colors. Yellow, purple, gray, and green. So that's them. They're all Silks for You. Or, excuse me, not Silks for You. Dinky Dyes. They're Dinky Dyes and Silks for You. The first is, and it all came from my stash at the time, 5 years ago. Pindy is the green. The gray is a Silks for You from 2016. Dinky Dyes Lost Gold and Dinky Dyes Orchid. So those are the 4 colors. And I'm doing it on 40 count Picture This Plus Regency. So when I picked it up, I was approximately, let's see if I can fold it a little bit. I was kind of roughly, I was here. This is essentially, it's a 6-page chart. So there's 3 pages across the top, 3 pages across the bottom. So this represented 4 of the 6 pages. And the colors are random. I just sort of picked. The only consistent thing I'm doing is you can see all the stars are gold. That's the only real thing. So I have since put in 10 hours as of last night, and I have finished the bottom right page. So now that is the bottom part of the chart is completely done. So that's the bottom right, done. So all I have left to do is that top right page for a finish. And based on what I got so far, I'm estimating about 15 hours to get done. So one more cycle, one more slot, rotation slot, maybe next month. And then a little bit more, and it'll be done. So yeah. So it'll be another whip that'll be finished this summer. Then I'll have to get another spooky whip out. And trust me, I have plenty. So no problem. Though I suppose museum could work, but I got plenty of spooky whips. Plenty. So that brought out, and it was actually nice. I remember I started a bunch of 40 count pieces back in like 2020, 2021-ish, and I found them, I didn't have a problem with them, but they were definitely more challenging with the setup that I had previously, which was an overhead light and a magnifier sitting on my glasses. So now I have a magnifying light that I use, and it no problem whatsoever. It's no different than stitching on any other count. So that's nice. So I think that a lot of my old 40 count whips that I had been avoiding will come back out for to play. So as I shared last time, I was gonna start Plum Street Samblers America 250 on Memorial Day weekend, and I did start it. So here's a picture. And I started in the lower left, as is my usual practice. And to be perfectly honest, I only put in about 3 hours because I was not happy. Because it calls for 1/2, which I am usually a 2/2 on 36 count person. And so I started it, and it was just, I was not happy. I was just not happy. I was not happy with the coverage, and so I put it away after about 3 hours. That's only about 3 hours worth of work. And I thought, well, I mean, I can restart it. It is a combination of Fancy Floss as well as DMC, but I have a lot of the floss already in my stash, or if I need to extend, I can pick and choose and use some of the DMC conversions for areas of the chart instead of just using all Fancy Floss and do it 2/2. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll just flip the fabric, because the fabric is great. I like that. But after walking away from it for a little while, I will say I like it. It's much better than what my original thinking. So I think I will continue as is. The only thing that I'm still questioning is potentially taking out the letters and doing those 2/2 rather than, because they're just a little thin to me. So I might either add another leg on top of the letters, or we'll see. But the rest of it I think is okay. I think the rest is okay. So I will come back to that at some point next month for sure, in July. I will definitely get more done next month. All right. So since I am traveling this week, I decided to add some smaller pieces on the chance I might actually get a finish while I'm there. So the first thing I started last night, late, was Erica Michaels' America 250 berry. I haven't actually done any big berries, so I figured this is a good one to start with. This is the America 250. This is all the call floor threads because I had them all in my stash, and it's on Witchelt linen, so it's the stiffer linen in lamb's wool. So this was last night. Mom, Mike, and I were watching a movie, so I got 250 America, which is the main center. This chart was a freebie out of Nashville. I believe you can get a download PDF copy at Backwater Shop. I will link it below if that is the case. Otherwise, a lot of shops have it. So I started that, so that's going to go with me. And then the other thing I started, and I literally put like 10 stitches in, was one of the Beneath the Waves pieces. This is the Fox and Rabbit. I don't think it has a name. I don't see a name. But it's a cute little fishy. And I have a piece of mystery blue 32 count linen. I just started one of the little spots on the fish so that it started. I have a reference point. But the threads are beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful threads. Yeah. So anyway, so that'll go with me this week. If I work on it, great. If I don't, it's a small. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So those are two smalls that I have kitted up and just a little start on so that I can pull them out while I'm there. I have one more project kitted up in here, but I haven't started it yet, so I'm not gonna. And I don't have any specific plans to start it this week. But then the other thing that I did, the other whip that I pulled out, also, look, straight thread. Also from the vault. In a How Much to Love bag. And do I have a picture? I do. Carolyn Manning, Sunset. So again, this was started a long time ago. I don't remember. On an even weave of some sort. A cream even weave. But here's where we are. This is just over 50% based on Pattern Keeper. So again, this will be an easy thing to work on with the nice blocks of color. And so I'm going to take it with me this week for StitchCon. I'm not going to track time when I'm stitching at StitchCon. It's just too much for pain and remembering on, off, spend 10 minutes chatting. Oh, I want to run to the annex. Oh, let me run up to my room for something, or, I'm not going to put that level of stress on myself. So I'm just going to kind of go with the flow, see what I have. So I will have Sunset with me. I will have No Time Like the Present with me. I'll have those two smalls that I started. And then I'm also planning to start Water Lily. So Water Lily is all kitted up and ready to go. So she's going with me. So she will absolutely be started. So that's the plans for this week, specifically for StitchCon. Oh, and I'll also have my Kathy Hipperman F is for Flag, which will be, at minimum, plain stitching. Maybe I'll bring that out too while I'm sitting at the table. My whips for June, let's see what my list is. My whips for June: No Time Like the Present, which I haven't touched yet; Holiday House, which I've already finished; Nutcrackers, which you saw; Thine is the Trick in the Tree, which I've already done 10 hours on, so that one's already marked as complete. And then Sunset, I'm counting that. Depending upon how much time, I may actually do 10 hours or try to guesstimate how much time I put on it. I may mark that off. And then I'll also bring back Abundance, Shakespeare's Peddler's Abundance, for the last firm whip. 'Twas May will continue to be my daily stitch, 150, 200. Um, I have the new Alforest, well, I have the new Alforest mystery Sherlock. I have it kitted. But I haven't started it yet. Only 2 parts are out at this point. I have it ready to go, and I really like it, but I haven't felt the need to start it yet. So we'll see. We'll see. That may or may not get started before the end of the month. I will try to keep up with Lillicrow with the museum after midnight. And then the other plan that I have is to do another start for Pam's birthday on the 24th of this month. Last month, the Stitching World lost a designer in Nerdin from Twin Peak Printed. So Pam has suggested a sal for her birthday this year on the 24th for Liberty Bay 1912. And I actually already had this. I'd already purchased this in my stash, and I really like it from a Americana perspective. So I'm going to go ahead and start it this month on the 24th. So this is the chart. It is all in DMC. I've got the DMC ordered from Steph at Just Keep Stitchin' Co. And I'm going to use the same fabric that I'm using for 'Twas May, which is this one-of-a-kind 36 count from Roxy Floss. So I'm going to use the same fabric. Oh yeah. So that's the other new start. So that'll give me 3 large new starts. Obviously, I already did 2 small ones, but those are going to be done by the end of the month. By golly. So I'll have 3 largish new starts, and we'll see. See how long those take. Otherwise, as we talked about, I started in January of this year with a 10-piece rotation, and the 10 pieces that I put on there, 9 of them were existing whips. Well, technically 8 of them were existing whips. And I knew I wanted to get, I wanted them done this year, right? The good news is I've finished 6 of those original 10. So I'm over halfway. Yay. And what I have left from that list is Nutcrackers, No Time Like the Present, Abundance from Shakespeare's Peddler, and then the 4th is the Victoria Sampler, I Love My Dog. That will get done. I just have to be in a mood to work on it because it's more complicated. So I'm doing really good for my original 10 that I wanted done. Yay. Now, I've been watching FlossTube. I've been watching Sheldon and Jason X Stitches, and they have both deemed June through November as their finish frenzy, and they're having a little bit of a competition to finish pieces, and they've figured out a pointing system for the finishes, and it's going to be great fun to watch them. They're getting positive points for their finishes, and they're taking points away for new starts because they both tend to new start things, and that's fine. And the goal is for them to get their whip list down, which is, always a goal for everybody, I think, with more than 1 or 2 whips. So while I am not going to limit new starts, because I do have plans, and I've got over 50 whips that I've currently got on my list. I may be missing a few because I was not good for a few years as far as tracking. And so when I find some, I make sure that they're on the list and I will add them. So I'm definitely in the high 50s. And I'd like to get under 50. That's kind of my goal. So I've already finished 8 things this year, of which most were whips coming into 2026. So I'm doing pretty good at this point of ending up with a lower total count. But it's always nice to write some stuff down. So I made a little check sheet. So here's my list of whips that I am targeting to finish. It has the 4 on there from my original 10 that I had in January, but I've added a few more. So Holiday House, as you can see, that's already done. So, woo, check one off. Nutcrackers, No Time Like the President's, Abundance, Love My Dog. So those are the ones that are that were already on the list, right? 'Twas in the month of May. Even though that's a new start, it's still, I don't want to carry it to next year. And heck, I've already stitched the date, so I'm kind of stuck. I got to finish it this year, which won't be a problem. I'll finish it next month with my current 150 a day approach. Mary Steed is an old Hands Across the Sea chart that I started back in 2020. And she's mostly done. I just need to add the alphabets to her, which is usually where I start. So it's kind of funny that I'm leaving my favorite part until last. So she should be a relatively easy finish. Thine is the Trick and the Treat, I showed you. I've only got 1 page left, and I'm estimating about 15 hours to get that done. All Souls Band Sampler. This is the original version of the band sampler that I did for my kids for a wedding sampler that I modified. I have the original version of that chart already started. So I know exactly how fast that goes. I'm doing it with Sulky on a 36 count linen, I'm pretty sure. So I should, once I pull that back in, it should go fairly quickly. And then the last thing was from a Tiny Modernist Sal in 2021. The stockings were hung. I can't remember exactly how far along I am. I'm pretty sure I'm about halfway though. As you know, with Tiny Modernist, there's quite a bit of stitching in those. I'll put a picture up here so you can see what it looks like, but I'm pretty sure I'm about halfway. So that would be another good one that I'd like to finish. So here's my Finish Frenzy list. So we'll see by November, or even by the end of the year, how many of these that I can get rid of. The nice thing is 8 of these came into this year as whips, and you can see there's some pretty old ones from 2020, 2021, 2018. So it would be really nice to get these done and off the list. So Finish Frenzy. If you would like more information, you can see Stuart's and or Jason X Stitches, both of which will be mentioned, linked below. And you can see kind of what they're thinking and how they're approaching it. So I did some retirement investment. Well, first I got a gift that I forgot to show last time. My daughter found this for me for Mother's Day. Mother's Day? My birthday. Anyway, she gave it to me a couple weeks ago. It's a box, right? And you can see inside it's got thread winders that are shaped like bunnies. Little bunny thread winders. Aren't they cute? There's 15 of them in the box. So I need to find a chart with 15 colors so that I can use my little bunny thread winder box. But that's cute. And it's got that wood smell. Ooh, so nice. All right. A few other things. Not very much, comparatively. I have discovered the wonders of pony needles. I have been a Bowen fangirl for years, and then I tried these pony black. I like both the black as well as the ones with the white tips. I actually kind of like the white tips ones just a tiny bit better. But pony black needles. I tend to discolor regular nickel needles. So I switch needles. I never use the same needle for like the whole project. I'm constantly switching needles every day. These do not discolor. I can use the exact same needle for a week and it looks just as good on the last day as it did on the first day, which is very unusual for me. So I did originally try the ones that were regular nickel with painted eyes, so based on size. I like those, except the paint on the eyes rubs off. So I like it as the needle. I don't like the fact that the paint rubs off. These, they don't rub off. There's no color change. So if you have not had an opportunity to try the Pony Blacks, highly recommended. I purchased the latest homespun and needlework Lady Liberty kit. This is from the Facebook group, and this came from Colorado Cross Stitcher. It's the full kit. Fabric, floss, little hornbooky thing, little glasses cleaner. I like it very much. I will probably futz with her face. I'm not a fan of her face. It was originally done on paper, so the face was drawn in, not stitched. Because so the face on the paper on the original looks way better. And I will probably do the 2026, like down here. 2026. I'll probably do that instead of the 1876. So I got that. Super fast too. I went on a search for the wisdom sampler. I thought I had it in my stash, but I could not find it anywhere. So I'm definitely finding more samplers designs that I like or am interested in stitching. So, our tastes change. I also picked up Worthy Patriot. I have no idea if and when that's going to happen, but I did. I also got the 2027 Keepsakes calendar because I really like the Christmas one, the Christmas design, and I like the Doreen Jones October. There's some actually pretty good stuff in here for the next year. So, and I got a pocket calendar. Let's see. I got my monthly cracker from Willow Quilt Cottage. So they sent Pip with fully kitted, so with all the weeks and the fabric. So Pip is ready to go. I got my monthly fabric of the month from Garon, Fabrics by Stephanie, which is pomegranate. Very pretty color. Pink linen seems to be a thing lately, as you will see. And then at Spring Mingle, I bought a fat quarter of the custom from Picture This Plus, Gaia. I am planning on doing Midsummer. I may not do a class because it's Tiny Modernist and then someone else that I don't know. But we'll see what the offering is. Tiny Modernist did do a little sneak peek, which is kind of interesting, but maybe not right now. All right. I am a member of the Evertote Patreon club, and as part of that, they've been doing a monthly de-stash sale, which is very dangerous to my bank account. I did not participate in the last one because it was held at 7 o'clock in the morning, my time, on a Saturday. And I'm like, I love you guys, but no way. So, but this is what I did. I think this is April's de-stash. So they will do cuts of fabric that are either they have a dye spot or something on them that once you get them in your possession, you can't actually see and find. Anyway, so this was a cut of vanilla custard, 32 count vanilla custard. I got a cut of 36 count love bug. This is a half. I got a cut of 46 count love bug. This is just a fat quarter. And I got a cut of, this is beautiful, this green. This is a 36 count something. The green is beautiful. This would actually work really well for peacock, unicorn, and a badger. That's spots. And then I also got an 18 count long half of this gray, which I think would be really good for like ornaments, whether they be Christmas or Halloween. They also do project bags. Well, they also do floss. So I also got a mini hank of this floss, which actually would look, I think, really nice on the pink fabric. So this is kind of a mini hank of the Roxy floss. So I foresee a monofold embroidery in my near future. And then I got 2 project bag sets. So Christmas, polar bears, and then Christmas. This was a 3 bag set, so Christmas landscapes. Evertote are fantastic project bags. And that's it. That's it. All my piles have been moved to another place. So thank you very much. If you're new, welcome. I hope you found something that you like and that you'll come back again. If you are a returning visitor, thank you so much. I appreciate it. There's a lot of places, there's a lot of videos to watch, and I appreciate everybody that comes to watch and spend some time here with me. Have a fantastic rest of your month of June. Stay cool or stay warm in the Southern Hemisphere. And I'll see you after StitchCon. We'll see what that brings. Have a great day. Bye.